going on YouTube? Dan from James Pizzione YouTube channel coming to you live from Jersey. It's October 10th today. This is the food forest right here. And over to the left here is where we had the chicken area. Little penned-in chicken fence. So it was right here. I'll show you where it went from. It went from this, this was the entrance to the door. It came to here. And it went around to that stake right there. So it was a little small, so we decided we're going to extend it a little bit. We also had a problem with this tree back here. We had a really bad storm a couple years ago and it cracked it and it was leaning over onto the mulberry tree up here. So what we did was, me and my neighbor actually cut it down. He helped me take it down. So it almost got a little dangerous at some point, but we used the long electric pole saw, which made it a lot safer. So we got that tree down right there, just split all the wood up. It's going to make it so we can extend the chicken coop back to the fence there. I'm going to fence all it in with a 5-foot fence, 5 or 6 foot. And then it's going to run all the way to, from that fence, I think I'm going to run it all the way right in front of this mulberry tree over to this fence. So it's going to at least double the size of their run, maybe even more than double. So maybe I'll get a few more chickens in the future, we'll see. But I'm happy that the coop, we didn't destroy the coop when the tree came down because it was a big tree. Beautiful tree. Really liked it. Beautiful looking tree. But some of this wood was okay, but when you got further down to the bottom, since it had cracked, it was all rotted out. So it was actually really dangerous to have because here's the base of the tree. It was dangerous because the only thing that was really holding it up were branches on the mulberry tree that's behind me. So you can see it's split all the way down there. All the ground is ripped up. We're lucky we didn't lose the whole tree in the storm. So it was actually held up by a number of branches here, but we took down those branches there and there and then dropped the tree right here. It's worked out perfect. Really happy we didn't ruin the coop. We dropped the tree right here, right between that tree and that coop right there. Dropped it right there. It worked out real well. So that's what the plans are for right now. Still got some leftover windows from the recycled window greenhouse. I'm going to move those to a different location. Here's some firewood that I need to cover. I didn't have it covered, so I need to move it out of the chicken coop and cover that. So just making some progress. Figured I'd fill you guys in with how it's going.
If you're lost, there's a trail through the night. Don't give up the ghost. Don't give up the fight. Don't let go. If you're lonely, the day's too long and solitary, you're out on a limb. You ain't got nobody, say my name. 'Cause I've seen you full of fire, blazing a trail, across the water. If you're thinking you might be sinking, I tell you I know it isn't so. Hold on to me.
It's the next day. Things are coming along nice. We got the posts in where we're going to put the door. We got the back fence done. You can see we had that chain link back there, but it was only 4 feet high. So I wanted another foot, so we put the 5-foot fence back there. Plus it'll look all more uniform and we have everything all the same. I'm going to put this next fence in here. And that's going to be the hinge side where the door's at. And I had to dig this out because it's a lot higher over there than over here, so I just trenched it out. I want the fence to be basically as level as possible. And then I'll pull back some of that dirt there so that I still have 5 feet on the inside of the fence where the chickens are going to be. So I use this welded wire fence. It's pretty good. I got 2 sets of 50 feet. 50 bucks each basically, which is a little expensive, but it's a good investment because it'll last for a long time. Also, I can reuse it if I need to. That's the same reason that I went out and did this setup that I do. I did this same setup for my garden fence. I went out and this is the same basic setup as you would do for a chain link fence, but just with a welded wire fence, so it's cheaper. Just a classic pole that you'd use for a chain link fence, and the same thing with the tension bars and the tension bands. And then I just stretch it and pull it with a tool that I'm actually borrowing from a friend. Makes it come out nice. It looks clean. You could adjust it. I could easily take this whole thing down because I didn't concrete it in, and then just make any adjustments I want. Actually, we use this pole back here to help hold tension. We've got this wire, metal wire here. We attached it to that pole. First we knocked the pole, and this was an 8-foot pole, so we knocked it in a good 4 feet. And it's hollow, which makes it easier to go into the ground, which is nice. Then we just attach it to this back post here, this terminal post at the end, because that's concreted, the back one, so it holds it all together so it'll stay level, even though it has a lot of pull on it. So we got 2 sides down. Just got to do the one more side over there. That I'm gonna be putting in now. And I got to stack all the wood and everything, take apart that greenhouse, salvage some of the plastic, and then the garden side we're just going to leave as it is with a 4-foot fence. And if they get over there a number of times, then we'll add a fence in, but I don't think they've never really flown over that 4-foot fence into the garden, so I'm going to leave it for now. So I'll bring you guys along as progress continues. What's going on, guys? Another day or two has passed. I got this side of the fence up put right here. I got the posts in, the ties around the posts there, so it's looking real good. I set this post in right here. When I stretched that fence, I put this post in right here originally, and you could see what happened. It got pulled. I pulled it really tight because I wanted the fence tight, and I didn't want to concrete it, so I just dug it in really deep, and it actually pulled way out of plumb right there. So it's not a big deal. What I did was just buy another 4x4, which isn't expensive, and then I actually dug that one in. I had to concrete that one in. I didn't want to, so I could move it if I ever wanted to, but it's okay. So I ended up concreting it in, which went well. Now I nailed these U-nails into that section there, so I didn't have to re-pull the fence or anything. I actually ended up just using this as like a pull post. Now it's all set good, all level, perfect. You can see how actually off that one got just by looking at the difference in the gap here to there. So I think it'll do well like that. Shouldn't pull with the concrete being in the post like that, and these also holding some stabilization, being locked in. So after the concrete's all dry, I still want to give it one more day because it rained here the other day. I'm gonna take that off, and this is the side I'm gonna use the door on. I just built the door, so I'll put that on, and then I took this off so I can just put the door on, and then I'll put the post in so I can just get the spacing perfect. So here's the gate I made. It's 5 feet. I didn't use 2x4s though because I wanted it to be a little lighter. So I just had, this is all scrap wood. I had some deck boards, which is 1 inch thick. So I just ripped those down on the table saw. Sorry, I got the chickens next to me, free ranging, having a good time, right by the kale forest. So I just used the deck boards, ripped them down, and then just used some leftover the fencing and the U-nails, and hammered it in. So this will be perfect. Should be the right height. Hopefully it's not too heavy. I'll use a few hinges that we got over at the flea market to try to make it strong, and the door should work out well. Free. Essentially the door is free, as opposed to if I wanted to get one of the doors that they sell at the big box stores for the chain link fencing, like 50 bucks just for the door, so it wasn't worth it for me. Better to just build my own, and I enjoy doing that too. Alright, found some hinges and stuff to use for the gate. My brother picked up a whole box of hinges and stuff from the flea market for cheap, so these should work well because they're real heavy duty. 3 of them should be good for this 5-foot door. And then I just found an old one of these just to lock them together for the gate. So that should work well. Again, free, because essentially this is just stuff that we've been saving up, and my brother goes to the flea market and grabs all these kinds of things for cheap, and we always end up using them. So it takes up a lot of room in this shed and stuff. We sometimes can't move around, but it ends up paying off in the long run. And you can see here, my screws came through just a tiny bit. I don't want to poke hands on this, so I'm just going to file them down real quick. Quick and easy to do, and it really makes a big difference. Rather than knocking them with a hammer or anything, bending them, I'd rather just file them down, get them nice and smooth and flat, so we don't get cuts on anything like that. These corners here that are popping up, I'll bang down with a hammer to knock it into the wood a little bit. Make it all safe and good to go. Here's what the area looked like before we took the tree down. It's that tree right in the center there. There's a heavy lean in it, but you really just can't tell from this angle. So here's what it looks like with the tree down. And we trimmed some of the limbs as well on the 2 mulberry trees right there. So it'll open up a lot of light for the chickens in their pen here. Also allow more rain to drop down here to bring more bugs in. And the chicken coop is just a lot larger than it used to be, so it'll give them a lot more space to work. Alright guys, the chicken pen is all done now. Got the door hung. Looks good. Chickens are still out free ranging. I don't keep it closed, obviously. I keep it open so they can go in there and lay eggs, but I just have it closed for the video. So it's huge compared to what it was. It's almost 45 feet that way on the front and the back, and then I'd say 12 to 15 feet on the side. So it's really a large pen. Almost 3 times bigger probably than the original pen. But I want to give them plenty of space back there. And I also have some other ideas. I'm going to be planting a bunch of things all on the inside of the pen and on the outside. Grapes and stuff on the inside. Some blackberries, some raspberries. And I'm going to fence them in just a little bit so the chickens can't scratch around to them, because that's what they love doing. They'll scratch the roots right out if they could, especially when they're in the pen. So, really happy with the way it came out. So I'll move on to planting stuff now in here. And I'll get that extra yield, so we'll be using the fence not only to keep chickens in, but also to grow food on. Probably grow cucumbers along it as well when the spring and summer come again. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for following along. James Prigioni is out.
If you've gambled it all like there's no tomorrow in the light of day, you'll be glad hope had a way. Don't give in. If you're hurting, I know hearts can heal. I'm living proof. I know how you feel. Don't look back, 'cause I've seen